Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you all so much for being here, for your continued love and support here on the channel. So today's pick your card reading, we are doing What Don't You See Coming? We have three piles for you guys to choose from today. These are the oracle cards that I've already pre-shuffled, and then once we get into your specific pile, we will pull the tarot to get a little bit more information. So what you don't see coming, okay? So group number one, you are going to be the Aqua, Obsidian. Group number two, you are going to be this cream colored crystal. And for group number three, you are going to be the Amethyst. So those are the choices for today. What you don't see coming, again, group number one with the Aqua Obsidian. Group number two with the cream crystal. I'm not sure what the name of it is. And then for group number three, we do have the Amethyst. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time. Timestamps will be down below, and I will see you all at your reading. Hi, group one. So those of you that resonate with the Aqua Obsidian, this is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out what you don't see coming. Now we have your oracle cards that I've already pre-shuffled. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got for you. We have card number 36, the Witch's House. We have Sagittarius with optimism, exploration, and freedom. We have Relax. We have Earth, Waters, and I'm going to have to cover up part of that one. And we do also have the Honeybee. So let me cover this up a bit, and then we're going to pull your tarot here. Okay, so we've got Earth, Waters. So what don't you see coming? Group number one. We have the Queen of Swords. What don't you see coming? Okay, so the Eight of Cups. All right, so I was already kind of looking at this first card here, the Witch's House. We can see this person here is kind of at a distance from this little house that's over here. And, you know, we have Sagittarius energy, which is ruled by Jupiter, which, you know, can talk about expansion, growth, also travel. And I was kind of trying to think, does this person look like they're coming or going? And we have the Eight of Cups energy here. The Eight of Cups is about letting go, you know, walking away, moving away from something. And so it kind of looks like a very peaceful kind of energy here. And we're going to keep going. So some of you, this might be a move, okay? Some kind of move. It could be a physical move where you're moving away from something. We have the Two of Pentacles here. We have the Emperor. The Ace of Cups. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and then we also have the Seven of Cups. So we are going to clarify a little bit further. Let's actually try to move these a little closer so make sure everything fits within the frame. Okay, so I feel like I first want to look at this Eight of Cups. Now I am noticing that we do have the Six of Cups here at the bottom. The Six of Cups can be a very nostalgic energy, memories of the past. And like I said, with this Eight of Cups energy here, it kind of looks like there is something that you are moving away from. And you know, the Ace of Cups can certainly talk about a new beginning, potential for new beginnings. The Earth Waters here gives me very much an energy here of healing, purification, restoration. This woman is inside that little area, kind of just relaxing in there. And then here we also have the Relax card. So this feels like there's a lot of healing also, a lot of healing. And when I look at this Two of Pentacles card, which the Two of Pentacles can talk about making a choice, weighing your options. And it may be that some of you are moving away from a period of instability into a very stable energy. We do have the Emperor here, and the Emperor looks like there is a map out on the table, kind of like it's discussing plans with these other birds that are looking at the map as the Emperor explains things. And the Seven of Cups energy here is about also about dreams, choices. Sometimes we might even be feeling a little bit confused or even a little bit overwhelmed. The Seven of Pentacles is about taking a pause to take some time to reevaluate, reassess things. Maybe there is, like I said, maybe some kind of choices that you're going to be making. The Queen of Swords is here, which is about clarity, about truth, can also be about making some kind of decisions. And then you also have the honeybee up here. And honeybees, or bees in general, you know, they're a card about community and building and working together to kind of, you know, build something substantial. So it kind of makes me feel that there is a certain level of growth that's coming in here. And perhaps this is a time for just kind of checking in with where you're at right now and kind of opening up new doors for you, especially with this Sagittarius energy being here, which again, like I said, is ruled by Jupiter. So this brings in a lot of expansion, growth, abundance into your life. I do want to look at this Eight of Cups to see what this is that you are. And it looks like all these little penguins are up here on this little iceberg up here, and they're kind of watching this whale leave, swim away here. Let's see, why is this Eight of Cups? So it definitely looks like big, beautiful changes for the better is what's happening here. Maybe some of you are going to be leaving something behind. Like I said, it kind of looks like, is she coming or is she going? She could be kind of like taking one last look at that little house. Or we could look at it from a different perspective if that's what resonates more for you, where you are kind of broadening your horizons and, you know, could be moving into a new place, a new location, city, state, country. Sagittarius energy is also about travel. Okay. We have the Three of Cups. Wands. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. Interesting. There's another little house here. And this little squirrel looks like it's holding on to something here. I can't really quite make out what it is. But holding on to something here, and then is kind of like on the outside of the house. So, you know, perhaps this is kind of outgrowing a person, a situation. Maybe for some of you, it's, you know, plans that you're making towards building a new foundation, because the Emperor can talk about our foundation. It's about stability, structure. So perhaps there's an old structure here. Even it's even making me think of like the old life, okay, where you've outgrown the old life, or the old version of you, or the old career path, and making some kind of changes here. The Five of Wands, and here we've got this forest that's on fire, you know, so in a way kind of like burning it all down, not literally but figuratively speaking. And the Three of Cups energy here is about a celebration. So it kind of looks like the level of growth that is going to be coming into your life at this time. Many of you could be closing old chapters, old paths, stepping into this new even version of you, where you're going to be making some big plans here. I'm going to clarify this Emperor. We have Temperance, Five of Cups, and the King of Cups. Okay, some of you could be healing from something, okay? The Five of Cups can talk about grief, loss. Perhaps there has been some kind of loss, and that's kind of putting you in that very nostalgic feeling of letting go. But we have the King of Cups energy here. So whatever this is, that with the emotions, we can see this wave here that's kind of taking away the trees. Okay, so whatever this, maybe the fire represents something for you, something burning away the past. And then the water kind of coming in to kind of clear things, sweeping things away. Because of Temperance being here, Temperance is about balance. The King of Cups is about emotional balance. Okay, so I'm seeing your energies stabilize. Okay, especially for those of you that have been going through some difficult changes in your life. Things are going to be balancing out. And Temperance is also a card about patience, healing, transmuting energies. Some of you may have had some difficult energies to kind of work through here. Let's look at this Ace of Cups. I almost kind of get this energy of like the worst being behind you. Why is the Ace of Cups here? We have the Ten of Wands. Yeah. So there could have been a lot that you've been through. We have the Nine of Swords here, which can sometimes be a lot of anxiety, a lot of worrying, a lot of stress. But look at that. We've got these beautiful earth waters here, the relax. The Ten of Wands is when we're coming to the close of a perhaps very challenging, very difficult cycle. The Ten of Wands feels like when we have like the weight of the world on our shoulders, overwhelmed with responsibilities or stress. This is about letting go. This is about releasing. It's also marking a completion of something, you know, so there may be a lot of energetic release for you here as well. King of Swords. So those of you that have been feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, challenged, dealing with a lot of maybe upheaval even that's been happening in your life, a lot of changes that have been taking place, kind of shifts along your path. It feels like there's, like you're going to feel not just mentally and emotionally, but I'm also feeling like it almost feels like this release, a feeling of peace, a feeling of calm. a lot more balance. The Temperance card can also be about mind, body, and spirit. So it almost kind of feels like these energies are kind of catching up, especially for those of you where these changes have already taken place. Okay. And then, or even those of you that may have also just recently moved, and a lot of work to get there. And then just kind of like this, it almost feels like a big sigh of relief. Balance being restored in your life, with your career, with your finances, with your overall sense of well-being. Like I said, for some of you, it's going to be like this feeling of like the worst being behind you, being able to finally just be at peace and be able to kind of refocus your energy towards yourself and what your plans are and how you want to expand, how you want to grow. I'm feeling that for many of you, this is going to be taking over the next month's time. Okay. Those of you that have been toying with the idea about making a change, it may seem with, of course, a little bit daunting, with perhaps everything that's needed to get done and the process of how you're going to get there and make all these things happen. And I feel like if you're right in the middle of it or just about to kind of start, don't be afraid of the change. I know sometimes that change can be scary, but I feel like in a way where you're focusing on your truth and your dreams, your visions. I'm definitely seeing clarity here, especially mentally. We've got it emotional clarity, mental clarity. Like I said, balance happening here. Let's look at this Seven of Cups. Some of you may have really been going through it. Wow. King of Pentacles. All the kings are out here. We're just missing one of them. We've got the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the King of Cups. We're missing the King of Wands. We've got the Lovers. And then we have the Moon. Okay. So we've got Judgment. It's interesting though, because we're getting these energies here in the cards where we got home there, right? We have home there. We have home for this little squirrel. And then here, even this rabbit is kind of moving all these things out of its home. Okay. And there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of stuff that this little rabbit is kind of moving out. And Judgment is also about release. Okay. Renewal. It's also about making major decisions. So Lovers is also here, which is about making a choice of the heart. With the Moon being present, the Moon, can sometimes lead us into a place of confusion or uncertainty or doubt, especially about the path forward. And I feel like Spirit's confirmation here for you, especially if you're still going through navigating through all of this. The King of Pentacles is about taking risks, and it's about using your resources and being able to, keep yourself grounded and stable. But I also feel like, Spirit is kind of guiding it. Again, this is a B here. Spirit is kind of helping to guide you with these choices and these decisions. The Moon card has a lot to do with our intuition. And sometimes this is the need for us to trust in the way that the universe is guiding you and leading you. Because the Moon is about trusting your intuition before you're able to know how something's going to unfold. Because of course the path that's before us, especially when we're changing and doing something new, we don't know exactly what those changes are going to, bring about within our life. But with all this powerful King energy here, like I said, I'm kind of getting a feeling that things are going to unfold in the best way possible. And we might not be able to see everything just clearly right now. Some of you, there might even be some level of heartbreak that's involved because of leaving old things, letting go. Maybe for some of you, it's having to do with like a family home, or selling a home, or leaving a home, leaving an old life, and this time for rebuilding, and the whole need of trusting in our intuition and the ways in which Spirit is kind of communicating with you and guiding you at this time. Sagittarius is such a beautiful energy of expansion. And I do truly feel like Spirit is wanting you to remain optimistic about, what is before you. We've got exploration and freedom here. And, this can certainly be setting your sights higher. I'm noticing how that bow and arrow is kind of pointing in an upward direction there. I do want to look at this honeybee here. Yeah, so many of you, you're moving out of a place of instability into stability in more ways than one. This is the Liminal Spirits Oracle. Let's see what this card is talking about. The honeybee. Let's see. See if we can find that. There it is, 111. New beginnings. Maybe some of you are seeing 111. Okay. So it says the diminutive honeybee has a mighty impact on the world around her. The pollination of the plants she visits provides nourishment for other animals while contributing to her own family. Every bee in the hive has a role to play that ensures the continuity of the tribe. Whether collecting pollen from flowers, building the honeycomb, tending to the progeny, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, or protecting the hive, all of the honeybee's duties are important and worthy of respect. The honeybee truly understands the meaning of community, organization, and teamwork, as well as the sweet rewards of hard work. The message for this card says, we tend to separate our lives into work and play, important and frivolous things. Just as the honeybee flies from flower to flower, pollinating all the way, we can find joy in the work we do, and meaning in the colors and artistry of life. Communication is essential to harmony within a family or community. It is not upon one person to make everything work, but all of the individuals combined. Respect the role that each member can play in their own right. Cross-pollination is essential for growth and prosperity, making some of the best nectar life has to offer. Skewed concepts of purity for the divine revelation of diversity, So as you're kind of moving away from maybe certain people, certain situations, it could be Spirit asking you to kind of take some time. And I'm feeling there's a very supportive energy, because I'm noticing there's a little bird in the tree up here near her. Here we've got an owl that's right there with her. Some of you might be seeing owls or birds a lot, showing up as in the form of your spirit guides or animal spirits that are kind of surrounding you and supporting you at this time. But more or less kind of taking some time to reflect upon, your journey, because judgment, what we saw earlier, judgment is about looking to the past. Okay. Because when we can kind of take that time to look back at our past, we can think about that chapter of life that we're closing, and, what experiences have we had? How have our connections and interacting, even in exchanging energy with other people, how has that helped us to grow? what kind of a mindset can we take with us moving forward? What did we learn? How can we integrate those lessons, the way forward, with planning this new stage of your life? Some of you are going to be, opening up your path to new love, okay? New experiences, if you're open to it. Others of you, this is new career paths. Some of you, this is, like I said, healing your finances, your mental and emotional well-being. I love that we have this Sagittarius energy. Temperance is also Sagittarius. And, this, like I said, we have all three kings here. The fourth one is missing, which is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is about forging a new path. Okay, so maybe this is the focus right now for you. Maybe this could also be part of the challenge, is being able to kind of step up, take the lead at this time, which the kings are about leadership, and perhaps once this release of this energy happens, it helps you to be in a much more clear headspace, feeling a lot more grounded mentally, emotionally, and really being able to kind of focus and invest your time and energy into the things that you really want, and to be able to have the power to make things manifest. I'm also seeing this, even if there's not like a physical move for some of you, this may be a time where you are feeling the urge to get rid of things that you don't need anymore. This could be decluttering your home. It could be going through your closet and getting rid of, old shoes, old clothes, things that are holding memories, which sometimes our belongings in our house do hold on to that energy. So I would encourage you to release, okay? And purge, okay? Maybe an energy of purging, clearing, purification, even clearing the energy in the home that you live in, especially if a physical move is something that you want but may not be possible just yet for you financially. It could be rearranging furniture to kind of create a little bit of a different flow. Some of you might be wanting to redecorate, or to even go into the new year, especially as we're coming to a close with 2025. I know some of you like to make those New Year's resolutions about doing things differently, or coming up with a new set of goals, a new set of ideas. I feel like a lot is going to be illuminated for you, especially as we move into, here in the Northern Hemisphere, the winter season, which is, very much for nature, hibernation, stillness. And we can also, learn and take note from Mother Nature by being able to do that same thing for ourselves, to just kind of pause and kind of get a little bit of a reset. Like I said, some of you with that Ten of Wands may have been, maybe putting in a lot of effort into your healing, or a lot of effort into career goals. And this gives us a time to kind of reassess, to see, okay, where am I right now? Am I happy with where I am? What kind of changes do I want to see on my path? And really kind of use this season, Sagittarius season, to focus on your expansion, to focus on your growth, new ideas being born. I do feel like this is also a time to really tap into your intuition, okay? And to really learn to trust in the unknown. Sometimes with the moon energy, we are afraid because we don't know all the answers. And the moon basically tells us we need to trust our intuition sometimes before it makes sense, before we know exactly how something is going to turn out. It's more or less about us trusting the process, okay? Trusting the process. So I would love if, as this unfolds for you, you bookmark this reading somehow, and you kind of let me know in the comments, or even sending me an email, if you don't want to post it publicly, and, you know, let me know how this is unfolding for you, and, you know, the beautiful changes that are taking place in your life, and update me. Some of you might be, you know, on a little bit of a different timeline where you're already starting to see things unfold in a beautiful way. And I'd love to hear, you know, your story. I certainly will be sharing with you guys as well as my new chapter unfolds. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I am a Sagittarius sun, and, you know, happy birthday to all of the other rest of the Sagittarius that are out there. This is our season. You know, if you have any strong Sagittarius placements in your chart, there's also, you know, those of you that are not, you can always just kind of tune in and tap into and work with this energy in such a beautiful way. I feel like everyone can kind of benefit, you know, with working with these energies in the seasons that we are in. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you, group number 1. I do hope this reading was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 2. So those of you that resonated with the cream crystal, this is going to be your reading today. So let's take a look at your oracle cards, and then we are going to pull your tarot. And our topic today is what you don't see coming. So let's see what we've got for you. We have card number 44. She is 1,000 flowers. We have the 11th house with friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. We have evolve. We have heart libations. And we also have mugwort. It's 2 little eyes right there. Okay, so let's pull your tarot. What don't you see coming, group number 2? Wow, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. What don't you see coming, group number 2? We have the Page of Cups. The 5 of Pentacles. The 7 of Cups. Oops. We have the 2 of Pentacles and the King of Cups. And I think we're going to, let's just leave it like this. Let's actually, we've got the 3 of Cups at the bottom. Okay, I do want to clarify this Wheel of Fortune, but the Wheel of Fortune does bring in very positive change, good luck, abundance, change in a beautiful way. Starting off here with this 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles can put us in a place of feeling emptiness, void, lack. And when I look at this little frog here, you know, when it's looking at its reflection in the water, we can see that there's kind of like that emphasis surrounding the heart space. So maybe for some of you, this does have to do with your love life. I mean, we do have heart libations here. And then the King of Cups is also present. So some of you, especially for those of you that have, I want to say not have had the best luck in love, those of you that are single and have been trying to find a love interest that, you know, is better suited for you. We can look at this page right here, and the page is like looking in its cup, and the cup is empty. There's all these little fish that are kind of coming around here, and all these other fish too that are making up this page's body. So it even kind of gives me that, like, that impression of like when we are dating, you know, and we're trying to, it's making me think of that saying, there's other fish in the sea, but with the fish that are in the sea here, maybe, because I've heard some of you say where you've made like little comments, and I guess now I'm going to be, you know, experiencing that too myself as when I feel ready for dating. Some of you have said like it's rough out there, because sometimes there's like people that are available, but then where you're going on dates with them, but you're just kind of not really finding somebody who's aligning with you. Okay. Some of you may have been dealing with a lot of people that have been very inconsistent, and just kind of like feeling like things don't progress, you know, especially with love, where you do meet a love interest, you might feel like, okay, I like how, you know, things are feeling, and then they don't get off the ground. Things feel kind of unstable. And so that might give us kind of like that feeling of, you know, maybe something feels like it's missing, from our lives in some way. But what I'm kind of getting here is that, you're manifesting in love interest. And I feel like this is through your own healing as well. There may, you know, many of you may have been working a lot on self-love and, you know, trying to focus on heart healing and looking deeply within the self as to what it is that you're really looking for when it comes to a romantic partner. And looking at this little fish here, the fish is looking right at the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune can talk about fated events, fated or destined events. It can definitely bring in, like I said, very positive change into our life. So I do feel like things are changing for you, you know, for the better. What else do I want to say here? Actually, I wanted to clarify this Wheel of Fortune. The Three of Cups is at the bottom, and we have the King of Pentacles. Some of you are going to be meeting your life partner, okay? You're manifesting in a life partner here. We have the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups. So this is going to be someone that you could, and interesting that we've got House 11 here with friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. So if that kind of sounds like your cup of tea in terms of what type of partner that you're actually looking for, it could be that you do meet this person at a party, some kind of gathering here of friends. It could be that you meet the person through friends or some type of group. Okay, it could even be through work. Like if you have like a work party, you know, where everybody's like, come on, hey, group 2, let's go out. Let's go have some fun. And you meet that person through some kind of party or some kind of celebration. Some of you, this person is going to be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm also seeing water sign energy here. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Okay, so it does look like there is a new love interest that's coming in here. It might even be something with a person that starts off as a friend. So it might not even be that you actually kind of look at that person and know right off the bat that that's actually your partner, your person. Because it could be that, you know, it's a person who kind of comes forward that could be expressing interest in you. Some of you, it could start off as a friendship, okay? Because with the Seven of Cups is about options. And You know, it could be that you guys go on a bunch of dates and you're like, okay, I'm not really liking any of these people. These are not really aligned with me. And it feels like you're actually manifesting in your life partner here. Okay. What do I want to do? I want to clarify this Wheel of Fortune. We have the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Cups. Okay, so done here with this cycle here, where you have been dealing with people that have been emotionally unavailable, people that haven't been choosing you, people that have been rejecting, ghosting, or even you being in a space where you haven't been liking the people that you've been attracting in, or that you've been finding yourself attracted to. I'm seeing a lot of you doing a lot of healing here. The 10 of Swords can talk about, breakups, divorces, painful things that we're kind of putting behind us. So those of you that have been going through like this whole chapter of your life where you've been dealing with a lot of emotionally unavailable partners, people that have rejected, people that have just kind of, left your life for whatever reason, this energy's shifting. Okay, this energy's changing. I feel like in a very positive way for you. Let's see, Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so some of you, there could be where any connections that have not really been aligned for you, you're moving away from those, okay? Letting those connections go, letting those people and those situations go, especially where you may have found yourself doing all the work, trying to put in effort to find your person, your life partner, a relationship, okay? Like I said, I am seeing this come in for you here. I am seeing the 6 of Wands here at the bottom. The 6 of Wands is about victory. It's about being able to kind of overcome a chapter. Some of you, I do feel like the universe may have been putting you through a lot of trials and tribulations, especially when it comes to your love life. And some of you may have been learning some powerful lessons in self-love, in holding on to situations with people that were where you were taking less than you deserved. Okay, this could have even been healing self-worth issues, connections that were teaching you about self-love, and to be able to have the strength to walk away from people that are not aligned with the love that you desire. Okay, why is this 2 of Pentacles here? Yeah, and this reminds me very much of the Empress card. Look how she's pregnant, just kind of looking. I don't know if that's a sunset or if that's supposed to be the sun. We'll find out. We're going to read and see what the book has to say about that. 2 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. The Hierophant. Yeah. Some of you may have been feeling or dealing with, I want to say, dealing with people that were not wanting to move things forward in terms of like a traditional relationship. Okay, you're going to be connecting with people that are more like-minded, that share your this feels like old-fashioned values surrounding love and commitment. Okay, which sometimes, especially in today's day and age, is a rarity, right? We're kind of in a whole situationship type of culture nowadays. And so, being able to find and connect with those rare souls who still value love and commitment, whether or not that's marriage or, commitment for long term, and, not being able to align with the right people could have certainly created a lot of insecurities. And I feel like, this was really kind of teaching you to really observe the beliefs of other people and whether or not they're matching and aligned with what you're wanting and what your vision is. And so I feel like there's a lot of evolution that's kind of happening for you in terms of what you allow into your life, what you give your time and your energy to, especially for those where we may have been giving our time and energy to peoples whose values weren't aligned. Okay. Let's actually, before we get into this card over here, let's look at the mugwort and see what this is about. And this is the Liminal Spirits Oracle. Okay, so mugwort is 71. Yeah. So I feel like this is certainly advancing for you, okay? Let's see. All right, so it says the unassuming mugwort is an herb of many uses, including protection, consecration, uncovering memory, enhancing dreams, and guidance. As its scientific name hints at, mugwort is associated with the goddess Diana and women's mysteries. It has a reputation for being a wayfinder and a gateway to extrasensory perception, which is why it's used in charms to protect travelers of all kinds. Also, mugwort helps the dying and deceased find their way as they cross over to the next state of being. So it says, I'm going to read the parts that are actually relevant to this. It says, you may feel like you have lost your way or are stuck in a rut. Look to mugwort for guidance to illuminate the path before you and show you new opportunities. And it also talks about not turning our nose up at the ordinary and commonplace. Just because something is readily available doesn't mean it's less valuable or effective than more difficult to acquire or expensive things. Everyday witchcraft is sourced from what is at our fingertips. Okay, so what I can kind of take from that, especially going back to that Four of Cups energy there, like I said, maybe for some of you there has been, plenty of options that are out there. And maybe us, not really aligning with what has been made available out there in the dating world. But I'm also kind of getting here from this is that Spirit is not wanting you to overlook certain things, because sometimes with the Four of Cups energy, we could be trying to distract ourselves from certain feelings or emotions that we might have that are kind of going on that we're needing to deal with. Like I said, there is certainly an energy of healing that is here. And we're going to look at the Solitary Witch, which is that card right there. And I think that was number 44. I'll be way back here. She is 1,000 flowers. It says, you are more than one thing. You are many, many small wonders, all combining to create the great miracle that is you. And the you that you are can in turn give birth to 1,000 miracles, for you are blossoming with possibilities, dear witch. A time of sun is coming to your life, a time of long summer and beautiful days, fulfillment and a deepening of joys. It is a fertile time, a banquet of time, and one where you begin to feel so complete and almost overflowing with bounty and love that your energy will draw to you all that is fortunate. I love that. Sweet and prosperous. Turn and face the sun. Let the warmth caress you, bless you, until you finally relax into the beauty of life. This is a high time for you, when the universe offers up her very best, and you accept her gifts and pass them on to so many others. You are someone who nourishes, who cares, who attracts, who creates. Being in your presence is healing. Being as you are right now is healing. Let yourself have this pleasure, this sunshine, this reward, this joy, this feast of miracles. Don't deny yourself the wonders of your manifestations. You deserve all these gifts and more. The meaning says a bright, shining time full of love and bounty, promises and happiness. A time when dreams come true and others offer their love and support. All good deeds done are returning to you. Understanding you have many gifts and feeling balanced and calm about how to work with them. No stress, no worry. A time of wonder, a sense that soon will come, a time when life takes on an even deeper meaning. Your time in the sun. Okay? And the sun is our life force energy. Okay? So it's something that is beautiful, that is radiant, something that I feel like Spirit is really wanting you to be, very confident within yourself about the healing and the transformation that is taking place within you, and how with the whole transmuting of these energies of the past, that this is helping you to align with the love that you do desire for yourself, okay? All this energy that you're anchoring into your heart, I feel like is something that's certainly helping you to put out a different energy, okay? Put out a different energy, becoming more grounded. And this is really, opening yourself up to the opportunities that are, like I said, coming your way. I feel like there's going to be a lot of joy coming into your life, a lot of your wishes, your hopes, your aspirations, dreams coming into manifestation for you, okay? And I feel like, in a way, because we're asking today, what don't you see coming? Like I said, for many of you, it's going to be putting an end to this whole cycle. For some of you, cycles that you've been in terms of, connecting with people who weren't really aligned with you, And it could be that this is even coming through community. Like I said, for some of you, this is connections with others is what's going to open up these new pathways. These could be a lot of supportive friends. It could be, where your new friend group kind of leads you to meeting and connecting with other people that are more like-minded and more resonant for you, and that even setting you on a path of opening doors to new blessings coming into your life, which for some of you, this is the way in which this new person is going to enter into your life, is through community. Okay, so like I said, it could be, maybe the place that you live, a community that you're a part of, especially for those of you that are part of spiritual community, or any other type of community, where people are kind of working together. You find people who are more resonant. It could even be people who help you to achieve new dreams, new goals for yourself. Some of you might even see these changes take place in terms of your career, okay, in terms of abundance for you. Some of you could be leaving like an old job, okay, that is not really paying you what your worth is, because we can look at this information the same way, where you are evolving, not only, like I said, for the love department, but also in terms of your career and finance. Some of you could be moving out of a space of that whole financial insecurity, financial instability, into becoming and embodying this energy here of the King of Pentacles, okay, really making your dreams come true. Some of you might even be, deciding to open your own business, okay, even a business that you might want to create even with other people, or because other people are inspiring you. I've seen a lot of the transformation take place within you, or even people that kind of encourage you to kind of take that next step on your career path. You know, this might also be a time when you're receiving a lot of downloads, that are kind of helping to lead you and guide you towards shifting you in the direction of you being able to achieve. And I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune being present, that it's kind of like you aligning with everything, because the Wheel of Fortune, like I said, is about fated and destined events. Some of you might be going through a lot of major life changes or feeling drawn towards making those changes. I do feel like I want to clarify the evolve here. Wow, Six of Swords. Look at how all these little birds are throwing off like their graduation caps. Okay, Six of Swords can talk about us going through a period of transition in our life, the rites of passage, an initiation, okay, is what I'm feeling for some of you. Some kind of initiation to this higher level. Like I said, some of you may have gone through that initiation in terms of love. There could have been a lot of situations in your life that you were dealing with that were teaching you about love, teaching you about loving yourself, teaching you about recognizing what your worth is, okay? And I feel like with all them throwing off their graduation caps, that there's something to celebrate here, okay? Yeah, we've got the Chariot, and then we have, look at that, the Sun, which this card was just talking about, your time in the sun. The Chariot is about powerful movement forward. It's about a victory, which when we just saw the Six of Wands is also about victory. It's an accomplishment, a milestone. So in a way, I feel like Spirit's saying you passed some kind of initiation, some kind of a test. Here we've got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom, which is the counterpart to the King of Pentacles. Okay, so this could have certainly been you aligning your energy with your counterpart here. Okay, which is a beautiful thing. It may not have felt very great going through it, as I can imagine, you know, dealing with people who are emotionally unavailable, people who were not aligned, things that were just not progressing, not moving forward. I know that whole process of that, you know, going through that is not the greatest. But there's definitely a shift in a very beautiful, positive way. Like I said, some of you, it could be taking, you know, your career taking off in a beautiful way, or you being able to take your career to that next level of financial security and abundance. And for others of you, I am seeing it as love. Okay, let's actually clarify this King of Cups over here. Six of Pentacles. Yep. So some of you, like I said, it could be an earth sign, but this feels like committed partner, marital partner type of energy. King of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. This isn't actually a person who's emotionally supportive, nurturing, kind, sensitive. Some of you, it is a water sign. Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity. So if you've had to deal with partners in the past, which we're seeing here with that Five of Pentacles, that were, you know, not able to give to you, not able to fill your cup. And you may have even been a person who's been an overgiver, you know. And so the Six of Pentacles is about balance. It's about harmony. It's about equal give and take. So this love, all this love that you have to give, it's kind of like you're finally having a place to put it with a person who's going to reciprocate that back to you. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands. Look at how this camel looks like it's kind of moving through this little portal here. Okay. So I'm kind of seeing that in a way symbolic of you going through that initiation there. And, you know, standing your ground with what it is that you want. Because some of you could be like actually rejecting people, actually pushing people away and saying, no, that's not what I want. This isn't what I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. And being able to have boundaries and to make changes and to let go of, you know, people who were in conflict, people that, you know, made you feel insecure, people who made you feel like you weren't worthy. Okay, I'm feeling that many of you have had to deal with people that, or a lot of illusions, I want to say illusions of love. Interesting how we have the queen and the king here, the queen and the king. So some of you, you've been waiting. Okay, waiting. This is like long overdue. But I actually feel it's not because the universe was punishing you. And sometimes we think that, what am I doing wrong? But I feel like many of you were healing some of you, it could be an abandonment wound. Okay, a feeling of unworthiness. Look at how this queen's head is completely turned, looking at that shadow over there. The devil energy can be about illusion. And so some of you may have even been holding on to people with an illusion of love, and being able to break yourself free and see people and situations for what they really are, who they really were, as an illusion of love, and your ability to kind of move past it, to have the willpower to leave those situations behind. And then you've got the Fool energy here, which is about taking a leap of faith. It's also the energy of new beginnings. Okay? So some of you might meet this person. This person, for some of you, might be someone who lives in a different country. Or that you might, I don't know, because we have this energy here of friends and community. It could be an online community. It might even be that there's travel that's involved. Whether you're traveling for work, relocating, something of that nature. Okay, but you definitely have something very beautiful coming your way, group 2. All right. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for you all. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonate with the Amethyst, this is going to be your reading today. So we're looking at what you don't see coming. And I did pull your oracle cards. We're going to pull your tarot. But let's take a look at what we have for you. We have Yule's Night with card number 9. I might have these upside down. All right. We have Fixed, which is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. We have Stability, Persistence, Loyalty, and Dependability. We have Wisdom, Emergence, it's like there's people, like a line of them emerging out of the water. And then we also have Time. Okay, let's pull the tarot. Group number 3, what don't you see coming? The Moon, the Knight of Cups. Okay. Interesting. 5 of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so there's a few things I want to look at here, especially this Five of Swords. It looks like this is like a tornado here, but yeah, let's get a little more information. We've got the moon, which the moon does talk about things that are hidden from us, or things that we don't have like all the information on, because the moon can talk about things that are a secret, hidden, things that might feel that could be creating insecurities, fears, doubt. So let's see, why is this Five of Swords here? What is this Five of Swords? We've got Death. Five of Wands. And the Nine of Wands. I almost feel like I want to take this in reverse. Why is this moon here? Judgment and the Hermit. Okay, so it feels like there's a situation here. Like there's some kind of situation that you have been dealing with. Yeah, it feels like a situation that you have been dealing with, and kind of like, it almost feels like an energy of like waiting to see what's going to happen or how something is going to play out here. But with the Six of Wands being present, the Six of Wands is about some kind of victory. Okay, some kind of victory here. And so it almost kind of feels like it's something that's working out in your favor. Something that's working out in your favor. I'm going to clarify this Death card. Some of you, this might have to do with a Scorpio, okay? A Pisces, a Cancer. We've got Virgo energy here. And then Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Why is Death in reverse? Yeah, okay. So it feels like, and of course, whatever this situation is that you're dealing with, whatever this is that's creating some kind of inner conflict or something, some kind of challenge that you're being faced with, it kind of we kind of have that feeling going into this of like not knowing how it's going to turn out, or how we're going to overcome some kind of obstacle. But the Seven of Wands is about standing your ground. It's about not backing down, not giving up. I feel like this also shows a lot of your resilience to be able to navigate through whatever challenges that you have been going through. Ones that are kind of coming to an end. And it kind of feels like there's going to be some type of victory here for you in terms of, it feels like staying the course. Ace of Pentacles. So we've got this energy here of a new beginning, the world in reverse. Yeah, so it feels like there's something here that was unfinished. Kind of like you're trying to work towards wrapping something up, bringing something to a close. And even with this little camel here, it looks like half of its body is through like this little portal, and then the other half. So it kind of feels like there's something that we're closing out here. And like I said, with that tornado being present in that Five of Swords, it kind of feels like you were dealing with either another person or some kind of situation that made you feel very challenged, very defeated. Maybe some of you, it does have to do with work or career or finances. Others, it might be love. Okay. But it feels like there's a closing of a cycle here, or a need to. Okay. Or a need to. Moving away from something or even someone, person, place, or situation that has, it almost kind of more or less feel for some of you, it might be something that wasn't really serving you. And then we have this Ace of Pentacles. I mean, some of you, it might be like leaving a workplace. You know, leaving one job and kind of moving on to another one, and maybe waiting for some kind of news, which the Knight of Cups can certainly be about some kind of message coming in for you, like a final decision here. So those of you that it could have been like waiting for something, like, because both of these, you know, well, more so the World than anything, than the Death card. But the World in reverse can be unfinished business, okay? Or we're kind of like right on that cusp of like closing a chapter, closing the door to something. And it could be particularly challenging, you know, the way that you're kind of bringing this to an end, drawing it to a close. Some of you might be feeling a little bit lost right now, like how to navigate through this, or what's going to happen. How is this going to work out? And let's actually look at this Wheel of Fortune here. King of Pentacles. I feel like I've been seeing this energy come through every one of the groups today. And maybe this is, I mean, because we are really tapping into collective energy. But it feels, because especially with all of the very difficult transits that we've had this year, people's lives have really, you know, a lot of people have really been going through it, myself included. And I feel that I'm seeing justice here at the bottom, which is a good thing, because I feel like things are working out in your favor. It almost feels like a karmic rebalancing here. Like there's some kind of victory here for you. Before I pull any more, I want to look at this. What is this? Number 9, Yule's Night. This is the Solitary Witch Oracle. Okay, so it says, the longest night has come, and yet there is light in the sky. This is the time of the greatest dark, the inkiest depths. And in the long ago past, when ancestors would feel the stark possibility of never seeing spring again, we must raise our inner light and spark the lamps in honor of the child of the sun who will be born again at this time. It was hard for her to stir herself that night, for she wrote by the fireside with her book of shadows. But the wild ones longed for her to witness the night, and their call sang to her soul. She left the Yule log burning merrily, and she remembered that this was the time to recharge her energy by allowing the night to be her guide. And as a reward, she was shown the secret places of the wild ones. She looked all about her, and once or twice she thought she saw Bone Mother walking the land, but her presence was faint, like an echo. She felt the new sun rising, and within its light she sensed the presence of the great old god Luf. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. All that has fallen will rise again. Birth shall come, the colder times will leave, and life will spring forth hungry for the sun. But for now she leaves her footsteps in the snow. While at home, the fire burns bright, ready for her to return. And to her home she will return once she has completed her task and summon the child of the sun. The meaning says midwinter solstice, times of difficulty and introversion, and interesting because we've got the hermit here. The hope of a spring that will soon come, a glimmer of optimism shimmers on the horizon. Okay, so again, I don't know what this is. Because with the fixed energy here, there could certainly be things, changes that you could be going through that are outside of our control, right? Especially with the Wheel of Fortune being present. Change is inevitable. And so with time also being present, you know, the Wheel of Fortune is about learning to go with the flow. And sometimes in our life, we do go through cycles that are very difficult. And I feel for many of you, like I said, with this world in reverse, it's kind of like closing a chapter, you know? We're not quite yet there. Maybe some of you are kind of like in that in-between place where you're starting to kind of finalize the endings of things, right? Whatever that means for you, job, love, career stuff, family situations, whatever it might be. And again, maybe not knowing exactly what's next, how it's going to unfold, how it's going to happen. But I feel like what Spirit's saying here is you're already upon this new beginning energy. And many of you can feel it, you know, how you're being shifted. And so though we may not know or see, right, exactly how something is going to come about, you're being shifted towards your destiny, okay? Especially with the fixed energy, the fixed energy is the Wheel of Fortune. And so this fixed energy can bring about destined, fated changes into our life. So this is helping to align you with your destiny. And sometimes, because the Wheel of Fortune has to do with divine timing, it's the ways in which things are unfolding for you. And this new version of you, I feel like that is kind of emerging out of this, whatever this is, much more grounded. You know, some of you could be really working on rebuilding your life, rebuilding a business. I actually feel like I want to look at this Knight of Cups. Some of you might be reassessing what you do for work, how you make money. Some of you might be really deciding in this new energy to really commit yourself to doing things that are going to help to bring about more stability in your life, even more financial security. I want to look at Justice here. The Hierophant. Temperance in reverse. And the Page of Swords. Some of you have some kind of, I want to say this is especially for those of you that have been dealing with financial challenges, financial difficulties, where finances may have been out of balance maybe for a long time. Okay, I'm seeing for some of you it's a long time. And some of you may have been dealing with a job loss or some changes to your financial situation. And I feel that some of you are going to be receiving some kind of message or news here, or even ways, because this could even come through in terms of the universe kind of giving you signs or ideas, inspiring you, receiving some kind of downloads, and receiving some kind of clarity about being able to, or how to pull yourself through this energy, move through this energy. Okay? The Ace of Pentacles for some of you may represent a new home, a new start, especially with your finances. Some of you, it might be a new creative project that you're working on, that is going to bring about more abundance for you. Some of you could be creating another stream of income. Some of you might be deciding to go back to school, take a class, study or learn something new. And it giving you the opportunity to improve your financial situation. Okay. And so I feel like Spirit's saying here, even though while we're going through this period of time where we're waiting for things to kind of balance out or to improve, to trust that these changes are going to take place, especially for those of you where these financial difficulties may have taken place because of another person. Like, let's just say, I don't know, we'll use the example of like a person who's going through divorce, and how sometimes through divorce, where there can be like a lot of sometimes deception happening with people hiding money and, trying to make things unfair. It feels like your spirit team and the universe is kind of stepping in to bring about some type of retribution here. Okay? Some type of karmic retribution, especially when it comes to abundance. Okay? Changing for you in a very beautiful way, helping you to move you out of a place of, it feels like, instability. And again, we might not see it right now in terms of how we're going to, it feels like accomplish like a goal. Some of you might be finally getting the recognition that you deserve. Okay. Especially if you've been trying to work on like a business and you've been having like issues with not having enough clients or not being able to kind of get your business off the ground, or you haven't really been seeing things take off just yet. Okay, I do feel like Spirit's saying that you are going to emerge out of this time even better, stronger, more stable, and financially secure than what it appears like right now. This might also be a time for you to reflect with the Hermit energy. The Hermit can sometimes be about us taking some time to do some introspective work. It's also about self-discovery, so there could be certain things that you discover within yourself with regard to certain passions, dreams, goals, desires, that you want to achieve. Okay. Some of you, I'm getting that you're changing companies. Okay. Moving to a better company, one that maybe even allows you to, I'm getting some of you like an opportunity here with a business entity that allows you to study, like some kind of work study or some type of maybe tuition reimbursement, or some kind of program that gives you some kind of skills in order for you to get a better paying job. I don't know. There's so many different programs that are out there like that. But that's kind of what I'm getting for some of you, where you are given an opportunity or receive some kind of information about business, money, being able to create another stream of income for yourself. Okay. And I certainly would take that opportunity, okay, if you're able to, because I feel like this is going to be something that really helps to improve your financial situation, especially for those of you that have been kind of going through it. Or if you're wanting to change a job, like let's just say you've been at that job for a long time and you're wanting to change career paths completely. Like I said, that Wheel of Fortune is talking about destined and fated events. So some of you could be aligning with what your destined career path is. Okay. Like I said earlier, there's been a lot of shifting for people within the collective, especially where there has been certain things that have not been aligned for you. Okay. Whether it's a job, a career, a relationship, sometimes it could even be like the place that we live, the community that we're living in, where it's not really getting us to where we want to be. And the universe kind of giving you instruction through signs, through synchronicity, about aligning with these changes for your highest good. So some of you might even have like a feeling inside of you that says, okay, today's my last day at this place, or it's time to, turn in my resignation letter. I'm going to start looking for other jobs. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to start doing some research, to kind of shift things into this new direction. And like I said, I do feel like Spirit's kind of giving you this confirmation here that you are going to emerge out of this, whatever changes these are that are kind of taking place in your life, that you are going to emerge out of this successful. So hold that vision of success, okay? And do what it is that you're feeling guided to do. The Queen of Swords is here, which is about using discernment. It's about clarity. It's also about making important decisions. If you have a certain vision, a dream, a goal, this is really about committing yourself to doing what it takes, and Spirit giving you the opportunity to make the improvements that you are wanting to see within your life. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you, group number 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.